Hi, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to discuss the lights that I used on making my short film. Alright, I'm going to try and keep this plain and simple. I'm going to show you my thoughts the day that I was actually shooting. I kind of did a little bit of vlogging in terms of what I thought about my experience in terms of lighting the short film. But I'm specifically going to take the time to talk about the lights that I actually used.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Alright, the first light I'm going to talk about is this red light bulb. This red light bulb I got from Home Depot. It's only 10 bucks, I believe. They have all sorts of colors. I just happen to get red, and I figured I could have some kind of use for it because I've been wanting RGB lights, but I just never got around to actually buying them because they were so expensive at the time. Now I've actually seen better deals on RGB lights, so I'm probably going to be investing and upgrading in one of those sets pretty soon. But for now, I was just trying to use what I had. I use it a lot, and it does have its purpose and does have its place. It's not the best light, but it adds a little bit of color. Now the next light that I'm going to talk about is actually one of two. It was a 2-light kit that I got from Amazon. It's lasted me a very long time. Granted, when I first got it, I didn't really use it a lot because it was just too bright, it was too overwhelming, and they were really more for photo. You know, it has the umbrella with the silver reflector on it, and I just didn't really know what to do with it when I first got it. I just thought, you need to buy some lights, so just buy the whatever lights you can find. It turns out that it doesn't work that way, and I got really disappointed in myself when I first got it because I thought I wasted money. I was like, damn, I'm not even using it. Eventually I just started pulling it out, for certain shoots and certain things that I wanted to do, and I really started to get used for it when I actually started taking YouTube a little bit more serious, and I was trying to actually pump out a lot more content. Those lights actually did come in handy, and I was using them so much that I ended up breaking one. They were both actually working perfectly fine until one day I kind of accidentally let one drop. I think I walked past it and I might have got caught on the plug, and it ended up shattering. But still, one light is better than no light, and now I use that one light as my main light source when I'm actually shooting my YouTube videos or when I'm doing, short films and things like that. Now, I'm not good when it comes to color temperature, color science, and all this other shit that, filmmakers are supposed to be good at. I do know that it's 5500K, which is pretty bright. I don't know where that lies in a color spectrum, and that is something that I'm told myself that I need to get better at, is these technical aspects of filmmaking. Me, I just like to focus on the story. I like to focus on the visuals, making sure that the shots are nice and clean, that they're framed right. I really do need to learn how light interacts with what I'm trying to create, how light interacts with humans, how light interacts with objects. That's the whole point of practicing. That's the whole point of mastering your craft, is learning how all these elements actually blend together to create a masterpiece. And little by little, I'm getting there. Now, the next light that I want to talk about is an aperture light that I bought a long time ago. And this light is actually great because it's dimmable. This light can go pretty much in a lot of places that these bigger lights can't actually go, so it works out, and it actually was one of the best lights that I had to use for this film. Now, the fact that it was dimmable actually was perfect because there was a couple of scenes in this short film where I needed the light to dim. Each of these individual lights alone are great, and when you put them together, it's even better. And now the weird thing is that the aperture light is one brightness. This big ass Amazon kit light that I got is a different brightness, and this red one is a whole different thing altogether. And not all the time is mixing lights like that a good idea, but when you don't have it, shit else, what else are you gonna do? So I think that's kind of the key. Don't be afraid to take a risk. Don't be afraid to experiment, because at the end of the day, what you make is still what you make. I'm gonna leave you with some thoughts when I was actually shooting the short film. After I wrapped up, I kind of tried to just say everything that was on my mind at the moment about the experience that I had when it came to shooting this short film. Alright, one thing I can say for a fact is lighting is extremely difficult, and I'm very happy that I'm practicing it because I'm learning that by putting the light in a certain specific spot or a certain distance from me, I'm seeing how it affects. Now, the downside is I'm doing this alone. I am the director, I am the shooter, I am the editor, and I am the actor. So this is really tedious and really annoying. So lighting is very tricky. I suggest that if you don't feel confident in your lighting, the only way you're going to learn is by trying. And even if you only have lamps or the lights in your actual house, try to play around with a different light bulb, a different color. See how each light bulb that you try, this is only if you don't have a set of lights already, but if you're gonna try to, because I was actually thinking maybe I should try to see what kind of lights I can have as fixtures already, like permanent regular house lights. That's gonna help, when I'm recording like this, to add a little bit of better color, or just to brighten up the room in the right way so that I don't get a lot of noise or it doesn't look so grainy. But play around with it. You have to try to shape the light one way or another. And one thing that's come in handy It's this little diffuser, one of those little 5-in-1 lighting things, which I've made a video on how you can maximize. But these things have come in handy because it's not only softening the light, but by using the reflector end of it, I'm able to bounce the light from one direction onto my face or light up a certain part of the background. And that's been very helpful because I used to have 2 lights, but now I only have one of these monster lights, and one is not really cutting it, at least because I couldn't light the scenes the way that I had in my mind. And that's my goal as a filmmaker. I want to be able to put on screen, or at least, you know, on camera, I want to be able to make it exactly how I have it in my mind, or at least very close to it. Even though I'm learning to adjust and actually, you know, making the edit work without it, that's a goal of mine. I want to be able to get that good where I know, once I visualize it, what lights I need, what settings I need, what lens I need, what kind of camera I should use. You know, that's the goal. We'll see. YouTube videos and tutorials are great, but you won't know until you actually start to see how light does affect what you're shooting. And the only way you're going to do that is by experimenting and actually putting in the work. So I suggest you do that right away, is regardless of what kind of lights you have, just use them. I hope you enjoyed this video. It wasn't a super detailed video. I wasn't going into the specs. I wasn't going into the tech. I just wanted to show you what I use to pull off the short film, The Future of Cinema. If you haven't seen it, link is below in the description. And until next time, consume less and create more.